Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So the Commanders get a big win. They go to 3-4 on the season, beating the Packers 23-21. So we're going to recap that game in today's video. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and that notification bell so you never miss a video. So big win for the Washington Commanders. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. They beat the Green Bay Packers, who are definitely struggling, but still, a solid team. And just beat Aaron Rodgers, held him to really 14 points because 7 of the points were a pick six. Like the defense has turned it around, and they're getting Chase Young back soon. And I think that will definitely help out this team. Yeah, didn't make a preview video for this game, and I didn't really have an official prediction, but I thought this game would be a game they could win because the Packers have struggled lately. Aaron Rodgers a little bit banged up, but they also just lost to the Jets and the Giants. Let's go through it. So Heinicke, 20 for 33, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It was not pretty. Like, the first 2 possessions, was one of the worst. I don't think I've ever seen, worst QB play. Like that was one of the worst QB performances I've ever seen in the first 2 drives. Almost every pass he threw was either uncatchable or should have been intercepted. But after that, he really started to clean things up, making more completions, way more accurate, and he just was way better. Like that touchdown to Gibson was a really great throw. He had a couple really good passes to Curtis Samuel, and of course the Terry Mclaurin bomb at the end was great. He was really solid in the second half of the game, or really after the first 2 possessions. Got lucky that the fumble that he had got called back because of the illegal contact, because that would have been bad. That would have been another 7 points. But let's go through it. Brian Robinson, was he great? No, but he had a bunch of really good plays. 20 carries, 74 yards, no touchdowns, average about 4 yards per carry. Gibson gets a game ball today. Gibson was really good. 10 carries for 59 yards, 5.9 yards a carry. He was very solid and also a contributor in the pass catching game as well. Samuel, solid as well, 26 yards, had a 16-yard run, and McKissick had a couple carries. And then let's get into Mclaurin. Is an absolute dog. 5 catches, 73 yards. He made some really clutch catches at the end. The first catch of the last possession that they had kept us in, got the first down and was in bounds. And then he also had a nice catch on the sideline at the end of the game as well. He was super clutch. I still think they need to get him a little bit more involved. 8 targets is a good number, but with Jahan out, Diami out, that could have been like 10 plus targets for Terry. Curtis was solid, made a couple really nice catches, 5 catches, 52 yards on 8 targets as well. Armani Rogers was clutch as well, 28 yards, had a couple big catches on 3 targets. Antonio Gibson, again, 3 catches, 18 yards, a touchdown, had that toe tap in the end zone. That was a great throw by Heinicke, a great catch by Gibson as well. Robinson had some things, as Cam Sims had a catch as well. So, I'm not going to lie, I was really nervous that last drive. We just kept on bailing them out with penalties. The Kendall Fuller play, it was a little it was definitely a holding, but he didn't have to do that. I think he was in position. And then at the end, I was almost having a heart attack when there was a couple seconds where I was like, man, they could really get this through. And thankfully there was a legal block in the back, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways. And the offensive lineman, it just went right through his legs. I was super scared, but they got the job done and allowed 14 points to the Green Bay Packers. So shout out to the defense for sure. Let's see any other guys that stepped up. We'll go to the defense real quick. Cole Holcomb was actually pretty solid today. I don't remember many plays where I was like, okay, Cole Holcomb didn't have a good play here. Cam Crow's okay, did allow that touchdown, but that was a great play by Rodgers and by Aaron Jones for sure. Derek Forrest had a few plays. I think Jamin Davis had a really solid game today. A couple of tackles for losses, a couple good plays in the run game. Didn't really notice him much in coverage, and that's honestly a good thing. I remember last year he got burnt by Robert Tonyan for a touchdown in this game, and he did pretty well. And I'm just remembering like Aaron Rodgers still has not beaten the Commanders at FedEx Field during the regular season, which is absolutely crazy. Kendall Fuller actually had a couple of good plays. Like, besides that pass interference, like, he actually had a solid game. Benjamin St-Juste had a solid game, but like, he's got to limit those penalties. Like, every game he has either a holding or a hands to the face, something like that. That just, you can't have that. You cannot have that because it extends drives, and it's just unfortunate. Sweat had a couple good plays, but he also had a bad penalty, hands to the face. You got to get better with that. Rashad Wildgoose actually had a pretty good game, and if I remember correctly, I think that his penalty I kind of thought was questionable. And then Efe Obada, Casey Toole played solid. I think the only thing is that with the defense today, the D-line, I don't think got enough pressure. And I know Aaron Rodgers was getting rid of it quick. They were doing a lot of screens and stuff like that. But like, even when they did drop back, 5 to 7 step drop back, like, we were not getting pressure. We were not getting pressure on Aaron Rodgers a lot of the times. So that's the only really thing I have to say about the defense, that they could have been better today. But the linebackers stepped up. The secondary stepped up. Like, Bob McCain didn't really slip up that much, in my opinion. Same thing with with Cam Curl, except for that touchdown. And then Derek Forrest was solid as well. And, you just shout out to the defense. They've really turned around after the first couple weeks. You get Chase Young possibly back next week. Like, we have a chance to go get back to 500. And we're in the hunt for the wild card. So other things, Gibson was amazing on kick returns. 3 kick returns, 78 yards, 26 yards a return, 32 was his long. But a lot of the time, like, they were giving the ball at the 2 or 3, so he really was getting close to the 30 every single time. Dax Milne didn't really do much, but again, I know a lot of people hate on Dax Milne as a punt returner. I'll take him. He doesn't fumble the ball, or he hasn't fumbled yet, and we've had a lot of returners like Steven Sims, guys like that just fumble. Like, just give me the guy that can catch it and occasionally get you some yards. Joey Sly, like, he made 3 field goals, but all those that he made were like 31 or less. And he almost missed that last one, at least from my point of view. But he missed that 47-yarder, and you just got to make that. You have to make that. He missed a 48-yarder, I believe, last week. And you got to make those kicks. 3 for 4 at the end of the day doesn't look terrible, but he missed the one that actually was a hard kick to make. Tress Way, 4 punts, 192 yards, 48 yards, a punt. It was pretty good overall, except for that last punt. Like, he did get it inside the 20, but it was like they were kicking from the 40, so he could have definitely got it inside the 10. But he had that amazing 68-yard punt that the refs try to screw us with. But Percy Butler thankfully touched it, and then Christian Holmes downed it basically. So that was great by Christian Holmes, even though he had got out of bounds. And then also he had a nice tackle as well on special teams. So shout out to Christian Holmes and Percy Butler, and even Tress Way, for the good special teams play today. And they forced the fumble also on they didn't really force the fumble, but what's his name, Amari Rogers, sorry, the punt returner, he fumbled the ball, and I think it was Percy Butler who ended up with it at the end, or it could have been Christian Holmes. But good special teams play overall by the Commanders today. Besides that miss by Joey Sly, I thought the unit was very, very sharp. Defense doesn't, force any turnovers, but they more than made up for it with their performance in this game, allowing 14 points to the Green Bay Packers, and special teams got a turnover, so it kind of makes up for it. Any injuries? Cole Turner had the concussion. He almost made an amazing play, but his head came down hard. I think it was a concussion, or that's what it was ruled. So unfortunate there, but hopefully he's okay. He has a talent, you can see. And the one thing with Heinicke is, like, man, he was targeting Cole Turner, and he didn't even give him a chance to catch the ball in the red zone. But overall though, Heinicke, he responds well for the most part, and he just had a really 3 quarters besides the first quarter. Like, not really good, but really solid. And the guys love him. Like, you can see, like, after the Terry McLaurin touchdown, how hype he was and how hype Heinicke was. And all the players love Taylor Heinicke, and they play hard for him. So that's amazing to see. And a lot of people predicted it, and I did as well, that like Heinicke would provide a spark, at least for the first couple games. That's what I said. And then after that, it might level off to more like what we saw last year. But he did this in a game where his weapons were similar to last year, but like next week, Jahan Dotson's probably playing. That's going to be a boost to him. De'Ami Brown could play. Sam Cosmi could play. Logan Thomas, like a lot of those guys are 50-50, and that will help out Taylor Heinicke. I mean, he's going to be our starter for the next 3 weeks, so he's definitely, and the weapons are going to get better, or we're going to get healthier hopefully in the next few weeks, and I think that'll help out Heinicke for sure, and he's just going to get more comfortable in the offense. He does tend to start out a little bit slow in these games, and I think he just was a little too hyped for the game, and that's what got him to start out a little bit slow. Looking at the Packers, like our run defense was actually pretty good. They didn't run the ball much, 12 carries for averaged about 3.2 yards per carry, so run defense was really good, and they only had 194 receiving yards, and like we had 6 more receiving yards than them and like 130 more rushing yards than them. We had a much better game than them. We just could not finish in the red zone. I mean, 3 field goals that we made were in the red zone. Like, you have to get the job done there. And one of them I thought was a little bit questionable because there was a roughing the passer that should have been called, like a helmet-to-helmet on Taylor Heinicke. But besides that, we just couldn't get the job done in the red zone, and that would just... We scored 23, but it could have been so much more. Like, if you just add, because we had a field goal on like if you get 2 touchdowns there instead of 3 field goals, if you get 2 touchdowns and a field goal, that's an extra 8 points for you, and you're at 31 points on this game, and it isn't even close. So that's just something they got to get better at. Scott Turner had some creative plays and sometimes not like some questionable plays and questionable like. Terry McLaurin's got to get more involved in the first half, and he wasn't. But he got that touchdown, which was great. And, yeah, good win for the Commanders. They're 3-4 now in the hunt for the wild card spot, and they have a chance if they can continue to win these games and get a little bit healthier. And, I mean, Chase Young's coming back. We could see Logan Thomas, Jahan Dotson, Sam Cosmi back. And, this team could start winning games. And that's why I did not want us to lose the Bears game. I know a lot of people were rooting for us to lose that game, but I was like, it's too early. It is way too early to be thinking about tanking in week 6, and I'm glad we won that game. I'm glad we won this game. It's just unfortunate we lost that Titans game. We could have easily won that game, but it is what it is. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and tomorrow is going to be Good Victory Monday. So thanks for watching, and peace.